You know, Tesla might not have delivered as many cars as we all hoped they would, and they hoped they would in the second quarter of 2022. But one thing has not changed: demand. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking, and here, where I live in Australia, demand for Tesla's vehicles is insane. Tesla says it now has 25,000 electric cars on the roads here in Australia, and it plans on doubling that number very, very soon. How is that possible? How is that possible when the mainstream media says it's not, don't they? The mainstream media says there's a Tesla killer lurking on every corner. All the Tesla killers were going to be here years ago. They're here now, and yet nothing has changed when it comes to Tesla demand. In fact, Tesla's demand has never been bigger. Why? How do we know this is true? Well, aside from the fact their wait lists are incredibly long, let's combine that with this. Despite the global economy being in a so-called recession-like state, Tesla just keeps on raising the prices of its cars over and over and over. And yet, wait times are not getting any shorter at all. Tesla has continued to raise prices despite a recession, and yet Tesla has raised prices of their vehicles, and yet demand just keeps on growing, even in spite of all the so-called Tesla killers that are already here with us now. Today, here are the prices. Increases from Q1 2021, Q2 2022 in the US. Model 3 standard range, 38,500, all the way up to 47,000. That's a huge increase. Model 3 long range, 47,500, now 58,000. Model 3 performance, 57,000, now 63,000. Sounds like a bit of a bargain, doesn't it, in comparison? What about the Model Y? Model Y long range, 50,500. Now, 66,000. It's like a 20% increase. Model Y Performance, 61,000. Now, 70,000. Man, it makes the Model Y Performance look like an absolute bargain, doesn't it, when you consider that the long range is only $4,000 less. Model S, long range, $80,000. Now, $105,000. Model S Plaid, $120,000. Now, $136,000. Model X long range, $90,000. Now, $121,000. Model X Plaid, $120,000, now $140,000. Those price increases are enormous. The most significant price increase comes from the long-range versions of the Model 3, the Model S, and the Model X. The Plaid versions are next, last the standard range versions. Only the performance versions of the vehicles show the smallest price increases overall. Clearly, this shows you where the demand is, doesn't it? The long-range versions. People want the long-range versions of Tesla vehicles much more than they want the performance versions. Tesla could not raise prices like this and still have high demand. Could they? Well, they have, and it's still there. But they couldn't do this if there wasn't a huge demand for their vehicles. What about price increases for other automakers? Yes, they've raised their prices according to TalkNews.com. However, they do not have the same demand as Tesla, in spite of what they're trying to tell you. Other gas car makers are having their sales go down. Let's have a look at the decrease from the first half of 21 to the first half of 2022. Now, you would think there should be an increase considering the first half of 2021 was mired by the COVID pandemic. GM down 18%. Toyota doing so wonderfully well. According to the mainstream media, the numbers paint a different picture. Down 18.1%. Ford down only 6.5%. Stellantis down 14.4%. Plus, they just ran away from China. Hyundai down 13.6%. Honda down 37.5%. That's what I call disruption. Nissan down 30.2%. Tesla plus 89%. Volkswagen down 32%. Subaru down 17%. Mercedes down 12.2%. BMW down 11%. Mazda down 20%. Geely down 17%. And Tata down 45%. Now, they own Jaguar, Land Rover, and those guys are finished. Some kind of Chinese company will pick them up for pennies on the dollar and turn them into some kind of electric vehicle company, which is what they should have been already, but they're not. That total is 17.3% overall, from 8.35 million to 6.9 million units. This shows the collapse of legacy auto. It's here now, but no one seems to be noticing. The mainstream media are pretending it isn't happening, and I'm not just saying that, they literally are. Where have you heard mainstream media mention this even once? Even one time? I can't find it anywhere. Tesla has a demand that far exceeds supply. They cannot and should not lower prices, according to Talk News, until this demand catches up. Will it ever, though? That's the real question that I have. So Tesla has raised prices and production rates have raised as well, and the wait times to the vehicles are still at record highs. Tesla is at an all-time high for production, an all-time high for prices, an all-time high for wait lists, and like I said, all the so-called Tesla killers are here. I mean, look, there's thousands of videos on YouTube, thousands of videos on different mainstream automotive channels showing Tesla killers from the last 5 years. None of them did any killing. No killing has happened. I mean, really, I'm confused. For killers, they're so tame. They're the tamest killers in the history of killing. A base or long-range Model Y has a wait time into January and April of next year. And that's if you're lucky, if you're in the US. In other places, you got to wait even longer. Now, similar wait times can be found in many countries around the world. This shows just how sought after Tesla vehicles are. People pay more to get things faster. And this is reflected in the used price of Teslas right now, which in many countries around the world are higher than the new price. People buying Tesla vehicles, knowing they'll have to wait 6 to 9 months, shows they're incredibly patient and they're willing to wait for the product that they want. According to Troy Tesla, Tesla currently has a wait list of 497,000, a backlog of 497,000. That is crazy. It's a lot more than what Toyota have, I can tell you that now. Plus, they also have reservations for more than 1.4 million Tesla Cybertrucks. Add those together, you're looking at 2 million vehicle backlog. Now, BYD, for their part, apparently has hit 700,000. Shows you the demand is not with internal combustion engine vehicles, it's with electric. Now, that number from Tesla is a combination from the US and from overseas. And it seems like if there were more supply and higher prices, the order backlog would shrink. But this hasn't been the case for Tesla at all. As they sell more vehicles, word of mouth spreads and they get more sales. The more people want a Tesla, the more people own a Tesla, the more people then want a Tesla. It's like a weird cycle. They just continue to sell more and more as others talk about them. And frankly, most Tesla owners are not quiet. They'll tell you how much they love their car. It's pretty rare to hear, say, a Toyota fan say that now. Really. Because they're just white goods on wheels. There's nothing special about them. According to TalkNews.com, inflation is now at a 49-year high. And one of the biggest contributors to this phenomenon is the cost of energy. In particular, the cost of gasoline. This is the primary source for electric vehicles. Here are some of the factors showing the electric vehicle demand right now that's out there. Uber drivers are leasing Teslas for less than it costs for just gas alone for a gas car. Ride sharing, yellow cabs, and rental car companies are all adopting EVs. Look at Hertz with their 50,000 order. This has a compounding effect on the demand for Tesla vehicles as hundreds of thousands of people experience a Tesla for the first time. When people consider an EV for the first time, they're going to compare the vehicles against other companies. Tesla does not need to advertise, and they don't. And this is a huge advantage. Who else do you know in the industry that does no advertising? In the automotive industry, there is no one that doesn't advertise. There's no mainstream manufacturer. So Tesla doesn't need to advertise because, why? Because the quality is so poor? I don't think so. Because owners love them. They do the advertising for them. YouTube channels do their marketing for them. Stephen Mark Ryan does their advertising for them. I'll put a link in the description below, by the way, to his recent video called How Is This Possible? Analyzing Tesla's absolutely insane demand. And he's right. Buyers still believe that Tesla vehicles outshine others in price, performance, and functionality. EV adoption is still at only 5% of US electric vehicle sales. Tesla orders jumped after the Super Bowl in February. Tesla was the only company that did not advertise. The only one that didn't advertise, and their orders had a huge spike during that period of time, during that 24-hour period of time. But because of other car companies advertising their electric vehicles, Tesla vehicles were found and compared against. The biggest risk for Tesla is production and being able to keep up with consumers who want EVs. Not making people wait too long. When people have to wait too long, they do eventually go elsewhere. Ramping production has been a huge challenge for every automaker, but Tesla has done a better job than others at making this happen. However, obviously, Giga Texas, Giga Berlin, it's been a struggle, been a big challenge. And in particular, 4680 battery cells. However, it is my belief that what matters even more than Gigafactory Texas and Gigafactory Berlin is actually Gigafactory Shanghai. That is where Tesla makes their profit from. That's where we know they make approximately 40% per vehicle sold in revenue, in margins. And they're ramping up now. Apparently by the 7th of August, that factory will be able to produce 1.2 million EVs per year. By the end of next year, that figure could be 2.4 million. Plus, CATL, the world's largest battery manufacturer, is building their battery plant 3 kilometers down the road. What does this mean? Tesla will have higher gross margins next year than it did this year, in all likelihood. And demand will certainly not slow down. Now, do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Do you think I'm crazy? I'm just a Tesla fan. You know, I bought a BYD, by the way. But do you think I'm just crazy? Electric car fan, crazy Tesla fan, crazy Stephen Mark Ryan fan. Yes, Stephen, I am a fan of you, definitely. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. By the way, I cancelled my Tesla Model Y order. I'll let you know why in a video very soon.